Hello there, and thanks for clicking on this video. As you can see by title, today we're going to something. We're going to something. We're going to talk about something that came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I couldn't talk about it because I did not have my technology with me. So here we are right now talking about Star Wars once again because why not? Let's do it. Let's see if there is some hope in the universe still, which I doubt because there is none. Star Wars is unfortunately dead. Maybe in 10 years something happens, but yeah, I don't think that The Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie, this is the title really. It's going to change something, and I don't think that Andor season 2. Yes, Andor is a good show, but it's just a decent good show. Like, it's nothing mind-blowing, and people did not really watch it. And but yeah, you still made like the Acolyte and the Book of Boba Fett and the Ahsoka show, such a fucking letdown. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, such a fucking letdown. And Mandalorian season 3, such a, oh my god, such a letdown. I really lost at lost for words. I cannot even speak English because Star Wars is driving me insane, or Disney Star Wars is driving me insane because OG Star Wars is fantastic. So yeah, let's not shit on Star Wars in general because it's just Disney Star Wars. And the fatal decision that George Lucas made back in 2012 to sell it to the devil, literally, because he did that. But in this video, as you can see, we are going to talk about the information that came out that they had planned a big show. Like, it was George Lucas, it was his baby, Star Wars underworld show. I cannot speak, but that's okay. So yeah, he had already written, or maybe like him and his team, they had like 60 scripts, were nearly complete. 60 scripts. Do you know how much that is? Like, a lot. Episodes were dark, sexy, and more violent than anything that came prior. The cost was 40 million an episode, and I have a post on that because people were like, oh, it was too expensive. Fuck off. Like, shut up. They wanted John Williams to score all the episodes, scrapped it because it was too expensive. That is bullshit. It would have blown up the whole Star Wars universe. Disney definitely wouldn't have offered to buy it afterwards. Well, lost for them. So more details on the show just in a few minutes. But first, I want to share this with you because I think that's so on spot. By Star Wars Theory, I see the outcry from people claiming George's show was ridiculous at 40 million an episode. Andor 24 episodes cost almost a freaking billion. A freaking billion, guys. I cannot afford to travel 2 hours from here because I don't have the money. And they're spending about a billion on a show. That is insane. It looks good, but that's too much money. This equates to roughly 32 million an episode. The Acolyte horrendous 8 episodes cost 250 million. That is insane. That is really insane. George's Underworld show was going to blow up Star Wars in a good way, and Disney never would have offered to buy it, according to Rick McCallum. It would have been a show with heavy violence, sex, and greed. It would have tied heavily into the 30 turning game, which Disney canceled. George was very hands-on with the game's direction and story, eventually saying it would have focused on Boba Fett as the main character. This Underworld show would have focused on the bad guys from a certain point of view and told stories in a new way that would have enriched the first 16 films, which were all that was released at this point. George was set to meet with HBO the next day when some scandal happened and the meeting was delayed, allowing Disney's Bob Iger more time. That is insane. George had loyalty to Bob because back in the 90s, Bob was high up at ABC, which aired George's passion project TV show, The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, which had a young Indy time traveling. It didn't do very well for ABC's ratings to give it a second season. I've never seen it. Maybe I give it a shot at some point. George was hurt, and so Bob pushed and convinced ABC to give George his second season. George felt indebted to Bob for this act of kindness. He was a loyal guy. And so when Bob, 20 years later, had a private lunch with George in downtown Disney to pitch him the idea of selling Lucasfilm to Disney with the opening present of "You're getting old and have no heirs," all documented in Bob's book. That is code, to say the least. Essentially, George, who was already in pre-production of the sequel trilogy. Wow. And this show warmed up to the idea and sold Lucasfilm. We were so close. If only HBO scandal didn't happen and the meeting happened, I believe George would have been excited and motivated to continue his passion project of this Underworld show. So yeah, he has a video. Go and watch it. Star Wars Theory is great when it comes to these things. So obviously go and watch his videos. Like, I'm no one compared to him. You should definitely go and watch it. But guys, that is insane. That is really, really insane. Here we have some more of the information from the show, which we're going to go around in just a second. Go over. English is not my native language, as you can see, but that is really insane. Like, when I get passionate and angry, I cannot speak properly. So excuse me for that, but wow. Like, they had, and even after Disney bought Lucasfilm, like, they had this movie of Obi-Wan, right, where Star Wars Theory had he invited the writer, like, the movie was ready, it was written, but they were like, no, like, it will flop. Like, how the, movies flop because they're bad, not because people, well, now, yes, because people are tired. But back in 2017, 18, where the Obi-Wan movie was canceled, like, people would have gone and seen it because the word of mouth, like, this is very powerful. Like, when 1, 2, 3, 5 guys put a good review online when they tell their friends, like, you are going to get your money. But nevertheless, whatever. Yeah, what they did with Star Wars, I still cannot believe it. And the fact that they're making a Rey movie, like, what are you even doing? Like, you can still do this show. Like, you have the money. I mean, and even if you don't have the money, like, it's your own fault that you don't have the money. Like, what are you doing? Like, streaming, like, the binge watching, like, how do they earn money? I don't get it. From ads? What? I don't really get the streaming model. I don't get how they are paying for stuff. I mean, you have movies that cost like 100, 200 million. So they have the money for bullshit stuff, but they don't have the money for good stuff. I don't believe this. Like, oh, I'm so annoyed. I'm really so annoyed because Star Wars is it's such a monumental event in history, I mean, in entertainment, but also in general, like, in history. Like, who doesn't know Star Wars? Like my mom, like, she lived in communist country, right, where nobody was allowed to watch anything American. That's BS. Like, she was a kid in the 70s and she went and saw it, or in the 80s. So yeah, I just want to show, like, Star Wars is something that almost every person know. Well, now the younglings maybe not, because Star Wars is dead, but people older than me, like, Star Wars is just synonymous with excitement and with quality. But now it's synonymous with I with BS, I would just leave it here. I'm not good at talking, so I'm not even going to pretend. Um, okay, so let's go to the pop culture news. See what else they can tell us about this project. Um, or if there's some more news about it. Um, but yeah, the series spearheaded by George Lucas and producer Rick McCallum in the late 2000s was set to explore the criminal underbelly of Coruscant, offering a darker, grittier take on the galaxy far, far away. Wow, that is insane. So the production budget would have costed like about 4 billion, but like you don't need to like make too many, like so many episodes. Like you should have just started with a few, see how it goes, and then like continue. Like, guys, should I teach you how to do things? Like, okay, so they're basically recapping what Star Wars Theory already said. Yeah, they're basically recapping. But yeah, this was apparently going to breach like the cap between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, and yeah, it would have been awesome. It really would have been awesome. I mean, here we have like some stills from the show, like how it would have looked like, and guys, this looks really good, like how Star Wars should look like. I think Skeleton Crew was not bad at all when it came like to the whole atmosphere of Star Wars, but yeah, and Andor as well. But I just miss this, like the bright colors, like the liveliness of Star Wars. Under George Lucas, especially, like when you had, um, the prequels, they were bright and loud and big, and I really loved it. I did. Now everything is just so like squeaky clean and hi now how do I say, like white and beige and black, like the soul is not there. Everything's just so perfect in a way. But here we have this very recent article from Collider. George Lucas's unmade Underworld series is the kind of thing the Star Wars needs more of right now. So this was published 6 days ago. I mean, come on. Or is this from the Underworld show? I'm not too sure. Um, yeah, Star Wars could benefit from long form even in the streaming era, of course. Of course. Like just do a proper show, like do 1, 2, 3 proper shows, and people are going to slowly start to come back. But do a proper thing. Like see Daredevil, like they messed up big time, and something happened. Like Charlie Cox apparently like went to Kevin Feige and was like, bro, this is not really working, and they fixed it. It still has bad ratings, I agree, but I'm sorry, after so many flops, you need to like build up. You need to build a library of good shows. Oh my god, guys. I mean, the OG Daredevil was released back at the beginning of MCU, right? Or it was like towards the middle of MCU. Like MCU was strong and big. So of course Daredevil was and Daredevil was amazing, and it was different from the MCU, but it was in that sphere, so people went and watched it. Underworld could have redefined television before streaming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, what's the point of reading this at this point? It's done. I don't think that they're going to fix Star Wars. I think it's dead. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I really, I mean, they're moving on with the Rey movie, and as much as I love Mando, if they do a proper Mando movie, like, I mean, a proper Mando movie would look like this show, because season 1 of Mando was more or less this, right? It was like dark and gritty, but also fantastical and sci-fi, and it was great. I really, really loved it. I love Mando season 1. Mando season 2, yes, as well, but Mando season 1 was great. Um, so I mean, we see that you can do proper stuff. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, it's not that difficult. Like, you have the scripts there. You have capable people. I'm sure of that. So just do it. Yeah. I mean, instead of releasing the Acolyte and Ahsoka season 2, like, I mean, you can release if Ahsoka is good, but I mean, season 1 was a disaster. It was a freaking disaster. It was really a disaster. Like, I've talked about Ahsoka, like, go and look for it on my channel. But it's really a shame. It's really a shame. And more so that this was something that came straight through from George Lucas. And if I don't think it could have flopped, but if it was a flop, then it was George Lucas. Okay, fine. But it was his thing. It was from his brain. And these people, they have zero passion. Like, everything is ugly and dark and depressing, and nobody can act, and everyone are dumb, and men are non-existent and dumb, or if they exist, they're dumb. uh just bad. Like, I've talked so much about Star Wars, I'm kind of tired, but I was excited about the show. Like, oh, this is awesome. But yeah, one day maybe things change. But until then, may the force be with you.